Ladies and gentlemen, today we are going to be talking about the anticipated surprises of the Royal Rumble. We're going to be talking about the possible debuts, the people missing from action, and the insane crossover possibilities. And whether it is logical or delusional, I'll at the very least provide a reason for why I think it. And if you'd like a chance to be featured in the next video, by all means please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section below. Now if you want to help support the channel, please like, subscribe, and ring that bell for notifications. It is a small thing that you can do that could drastically change my life. And as my #1 inspiration always says, if you're a wrestling fan, I'm incredibly confident that you are going to fall in love with this YouTube channel because we always upload daily wrestling content. Alright folks, that's enough. Let's see what we got here. So first we have surprise debuts. Obviously, the one that has been rumored for a very long time now, Chris Jericho. I wanted to put him here because I don't think he's actually going to be in the Royal Rumble. I believe he's still on tour with Fozzy, and according to the AEW website, he is still an active member of that roster. So I just wanted to bring this up. If he is going to be a part of the road to WrestleMania, I don't think it would be until maybe the Elimination Chamber or a little bit after the Royal Rumble at the very least. Saraya or Paige. More than likely it'll be Paige that debuts instead of the name of Saraya. Paige was a very beloved wrestler in the Divas era of wrestling, I guess. I think that there is a demand for Paige, maybe not nearly as big as it was for AJ Lee, but I think that people have wanted her back for a very long time. But now that we have AJ Lee, those kind of people that were calling out for at least one of them to return have really died down. Those voices have really died down, but I don't think the WWE has forgotten. Next is Powerhouse Hobbs. This feels like a shoo-in. This is a big rumor that has been happening all over the place. I actually just got to go to an AEW show, and I think I unintentionally watched his very last match there. Powerhouse Hobbs is a really great wrestler. I just think he hit his ceiling in AEW. He could at least find another voice in WWE. I think maybe a new gimmick or maybe a new set of opponents. I think that he really is looking to break that ceiling, and I'm hoping he can, because it's not, the problem isn't his in-ring ability. I think he just hasn't had that chance to really shine and break through. For many wrestlers, it's many different things. You have a wrestler like Obafemi, Brock Lesnar, Braun Breaker. Those wrestlers use their pure in-ring abilities aura to carry them to that next level. And then you have people like Kit Wilson and Joe Hendry, who, let's face it, their theme song is what really got them over with audiences. At the very least, they are doing things to stay in people's minds beyond just their theme songs. When it comes to Powerhouse Hobbs, I believe he could be more than just the muscle. I really do believe that he could do something really well, something on the level of an Obafemi, of a Braun Breaker, but we won't know until he finally gets here. So now, Brie Bella. This feels like it should have been a very obvious one. Brie Bella feels like a very safe pick. Ever since WWE Unreal Season 2 has released, we've seen that not only has Nikki Bella attempted to bring back Brie, but there were even talks in the writer's room of doing Nikki and Brie Bella versus Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez at SummerSlam. It's not like it's out of this world to believe that the WWE, they had an idea, they signed her, it didn't work out because of Liv Morgan's injury, and she's just been kind of on the back burner until she can debut properly. All right, this is a very recent rumor. This guy's name is Evil, like Evil, like Mermaid Man, I guess. He's from New Japan Pro Wrestling, and I've seen lots of rumors circulating that this man is on his way to the WWE, kind of just like Powerhouse Hobbs. From what I understand, he's a dangerous man, but I am not necessarily fully filled in on his career in New Japan Pro Wrestling, so I guess we'll see what happens when we get to Riyadh. Next, we have the NXT, AAA, and TNA call-ups. This could mean, like, if anybody is coming up to the main roster, if anybody is just, showcasing their talents and going back to, either of those promotions, either or is completely fine. Next, we have Mr. Iguana. This feels like a shoo-in. He is the most over prospect in all of AAA. And I just don't think that they anticipated that that would happen, kind of like with Kit Wilson. Mr. Iguana is constantly being featured in NXT. He has a lot of great chemistry with the WWE wrestlers in general, and he's even had a match on SmackDown. I have no doubt that Mr. Iguana could be put into the Royal Rumble to a thunderous pop, by the way. I think he could perform some amazing spots on the level that Kofi Kingston was known for back in the day. I just hope that we get something crazy like Mr. Iguana versus Santino Marella, but you know, who knows if that's even possible. Sol Ruca, probably the hottest prospect in all of NXT for the women's division. No. In all of NXT, Sol Ruca is a talent. She will main event WrestleMania one day. I guarantee you, Sol Ruca will main event WrestleMania. She has got to be one of the most talented wrestlers that we've seen on NXT, and I anticipate that she's going to have an amazing career on the main roster. She is a bona fide future Hall of Famer. She's already been trusted to do many matches with the likes of Charlotte Flair, Alexa Bliss, Bayley, and not many wrestlers can say that they were on the match card for John Cena's retirement. She really shows just how much trust and faith they have in her and her future. I really hope when Sol Ruca comes out of the Royal Rumble that it will be a permanent stay. I don't think it will, because I know her and Zarya have a program at TNA right now for the TNA Tag Team Championships. Next is Leon Slater. Y'all have seen the meme, right, of like TNA being in the cuck chair while WWE has their way with Leon Slater. Yeah, Leon Slater is also another one of those wrestlers on the level of a Sol Ruca, of a Javon Evans, where he is going to have a giant, amazing future in the industry of professional wrestling. It is unfortunate that his match with Javon Evans over at TNA got cut so short, because that is a match that it's going to tear a black hole in the atmosphere and suck up the earth. That's how good he was. When he came out to answer the United States Open Challenge against Carmelo Hayes, I damn near creamed. Leon Slater would have an amazing performance in the Royal Rumble. He is just the kind of guy that would make everyone look very good, on top of making himself look like $1,000,000. Next is Blake Monroe. Now, let me tell you, she does not even belong in NXT. They need her right now because they kind of got gutted with Oba, Javon, and Trick Williams all being taken. So she is probably the biggest star along with Ethan Page right now on NXT. Because of her experience in AEW, she is probably the most main roster ready person, just like Ethan Page. Her character work is absolutely phenomenal. She is very good at being an asshole. She is very good at it, a stuck up asshole. She's currently in a program with Jada Parker, and that could play a role in what happens in the Royal Rumble, because last time she was featured on a main roster PLE, it was Evolution, and they did her heel turn on it. So if they keep up that pace, I anticipate that she not only would be in the Royal Rumble, but a storyline would continue from NXT through to the Royal Rumble. Obviously, we had to address the giant ruler in the room, Oba Femi, who just vacated the NXT Championship. We don't know where he's going to be. We don't know if he's on Monday Night Raw or Friday Night SmackDown. Oba Femi will destroy everybody if he debuts in the Royal Rumble. If they do something again where they have Brock Lesnar come in and he cleans up house, he is dominating the entire roster in the Royal Rumble, I obviously would hate it, but the person you send to get rid of him won't be Drew McIntyre this time. Oba Femi, okay? Hear me out. Here's what he does. Brock Lesnar, he's destroying everybody. He's absolutely ganking everybody. And Oba Femi comes in, like 8 people can't even get Brock Lesnar out. Oba Femi does it with one hand. One shot. That's all it takes. And then immediately, you see the man that just manhandled John Cena get manhandled by Oba Femi. Immediately, boom. Main event scene. Main event WrestleMania this year. Sorry, I really, really love Obafemi. I think him and Trick are like two of my favorite wrestlers on the roster right now. And next, as we were talking about Blake Monroe earlier, Jada Parker is another one of those wrestlers. You see, she's currently in a program with Blake Monroe, and I think that she is going to be in the Royal Rumble just like she was last year to play off of that storyline with Blake Monroe. Jeff Hardy, the GOAT himself. Okay, Jeff Hardy is a TNA wrestler right now. He is one of the only wrestlers from TNA to win WWE Gold during this big partnership, along with Matt Hardy. I would have put the Hardys on here, but the men's roster is very, very big. I don't think they would have been able to make room for two of them. So if they are going to use one of them, they would use Jeff Hardy. He is the most popular out of the Hardys. The most popular thing that Matt Hardy ever did was get cheated on and then fired. I think he is so beloved, and because we have this big partnership with TNA, I have no doubt that they'd be willing to let Jeff Hardy go out there, get a few spots, get eliminated to promote TNA. Next is a pretty cool one. Tatum Paxley. Tatum Paxley is currently on one hell of a run. She's finally having the It storyline for her. Tatum Paxley would make an amazing addition to the Royal Rumble. She's a very different kind of wrestler in that a lot of the interest in her, a lot of the attraction to her is the character she plays. She's batshit crazy. That's the big appeal to her. She's emo and batshit crazy. I think that is going to get over pretty well with audiences because there are proven characters that exhibit those traits separately that have been elevated, and now they are all in one person. You know, batshit crazy, emo. Okay, we got AJ Lee, crazy. Rhea Ripley, emo. You put them together, you get Tatum Paxley. Okay, I think that it's probably a very low chance that Tatum would end up debuting here, but I think it would be a really fun spot for her, whether she's in there for a little bit or not. I could totally see her being in there and being in the Royal Rumble for a pretty long time. And how could you not have Joe Hendry? I think because last year, even though he was not signed to WWE, but rather he was with TNA, and he was still in the Royal Rumble and had a spot with well, technically, yes, Joe. The fact that WWE trusted him enough to have a pretty big spot with Roman Reigns really tells me a lot because he wasn't even signed to the WWE. So I think this time around, not only will he be in the Royal Rumble, I think he will be the Iron Man of the Royal Rumble. He is a very over character. He's a very over wrestler. I was there at WrestleMania when he showed up to answer Randy Orton's open challenge. Now, take a guess for me. What pop was louder? The pop for John Cena or the pop for Joe Hendry? I can tell you with experience, it was for Joe Hendry, and that is insane. All right, next is Kendall Gray. So Kendall Gray, if you guys don't know, she is actually the Evolve champion, and Evolve is a show that WWE is probably trying to get the viewership up from because it's on Tubi. Let's face it, not a lot of people are watching WWE on Tubi, and there's maybe like 20 to 30 people in the audience for it. They aren't even counted on the official roster list as being a part of the Evolve roster. They're a part of the NXT roster. I think getting the Evolve Championship belt on the stage of the Royal Rumble would do a lot for Evolve. I think it would get, even if it got 100 people interested worldwide, it would be a big success. And Kendall Gray is a prodigy. A fucking prodigy. When I tell you, she is such a great wrestler. She mixes these high-flying abilities with very technical wrestling, and I think it reminds me a lot of like a Kurt Angle. So if she were to be in the Royal Rumble, I think she would be the Iron Woman of the Women's Royal Rumble. Next up, we got returns from injury. Let's see who we got. Okay, number one, Bianca Belair. Yeah, it has been so long since she broke her finger at WrestleMania. It has been 9 months since she broke her finger at WrestleMania, and she is still not back yet. I didn't anticipate that a finger injury would take this long, especially because Liv Morgan injured her shoulder and came back all before Bianca Belair managed to come back. If she is to return, she's winning the Royal Rumble, no doubt about it. They would not have pulled the trigger on Jade Cargill and gave her the championship if they didn't think Bianca would be back soon, because that is the match. That is the match. They don't have Naomi anymore. Bianca won't even have that match with Naomi, so I think they're going to fast forward through that process and have her match with Jade Cargill so she can win the WWE Championship at WrestleMania. That's all assuming that she's actually going to return. So we don't know. We don't know. She may even miss WrestleMania. We don't even know. Seth Rollins. Now, this is my delusional pick, okay? It is very delusional to think that Seth Rollins could be back. The logical version of me knows he'll probably be back after WrestleMania. But if Seth Rollins returns, the WrestleMania match that we could get with Braun Breaker will be generational. Absolutely generational. All right, next is Tiffany Stratton. She is one of those wrestlers where I'm not entirely sure how bad her injury exactly was, but what I do know, she did not have to vacate the championship. She could actually drop it to Jade Cargill, and I think that says a lot. I anticipate that she'll probably be back for this Rumble and make it to the final, the top 5. Now, Elton Prince. I know nothing about Elton Prince and whether or not he's actually going to recover. I don't even know what kind of injury he has. But what I do know is that Kit Wilson has one hell of a theme song, and his catchphrases are starting to get over. People are starting to really care about him. And so I think they could do a really interesting storyline where Elton Prince feels like the forgotten partner, and Kit Wilson is just having this generational run. And when Elton Prince comes back, will Kit Wilson be willing to reunite Pretty Deadly, or is he just going to want to continue that run as a single star? Who knows? Kevin Owens. Apparently, he had his surgery a few months after he announced that he couldn't come back, and that was almost a year ago now that he had to leave to handle his neck. So it has probably been 7 months since he had his surgery. I don't know if maybe he can debut again. I'm just praying that we'll get another John Cena miracle where he had an injury that he should have been out for years for, but he comes back and he wins the Royal Rumble. If Kevin Owens were to come back, I'd want him to win the Royal Rumble. But this is another one of those delusional picks. It's just something that I hope happens, but I know probably won't. But never say never. We got Chad Gable. All right, now this is a very interesting one. Now, let's put ourselves in this mindset, okay? Imagine with me that he is, in this world at least, in this hypothetical universe, that he was El Grande Americano. Now, a lot of people seem to think that El Grande Americano, ever since Chad Gable left, he's being played by some other guy. Now, whether that's true or not is just complete coincidence, by the way. But let's say that Chad Gable is El Grande Americano. What would happen if he comes face to face with El Grande Americano? Would Chad Gable return as Gable or El Grande? Here's my cinema pitch. Number 1 is El Grande Americano. Number 2 is El Grande Americano. And then we get the War of the Titans, okay? The battle of the Americanos. And then both of them get eliminated. And then later, Chad Gable enters. And then the alleged man behind the current mask, Ludwig Kaiser, comes out. And then they fight each other. I think that he could have a generational run. He could probably have a really great feud with El Grande Americano. And that would be a lot of fun. Ludwig Kaiser. Now, this is one of those things, man. Ludwig Kaiser is such an amazing talent. But ever since they abandoned Imperium, he's been nowhere to be found. He's not on NXT. He's not on SmackDown, Raw, TNA, AAA, AEW. He's nowhere to be found. Allegedly, people say he's El Grande Americano, but those people are delusional. El Grande Americano is Mexican. This guy is German, okay? It's not even possible that they could even be remotely related. Again, live in that fantasy world where he is El Grande Americano. Him being confronted by Chad Gable would be a WrestleMania program. I would love to see El Grande Americano and Ludwig Kaiser in the Royal Rumble. LA Knight. LA Knight, the man who everyone wants to be a champion, and Triple H won't let it happen. He would rather die than watch LA Knight succeed, okay? I don't get it. Now, I would understand if people are a little skeptical because the Jey Uso experiment failed. As far as I'm concerned, it failed. LA Knight is one of those wrestlers where he has one gimmick and people love him for it, kind of like Yeet. He has not been pushed for years. He has been on the cusp, but never being able to achieve it. Now, if it had only been 2025, I would understand because the Jey Uso experiment failed. You don't really want to take a risk on LA Knight at that point. Not to say that LA Knight and Jey Uso are equals. I do think that Knight has a better wrestling moveset, just not a better finisher. I really want LA Knight to succeed. He's been written off TV. He'll probably come back to a pretty big pop and he'll probably get eliminated not long after. I have lost faith because I've been really rooting for LA Knight for a very long time, and it just feels like I'm a Finn Balor fan at this point. So, well, Finn Balor fans are probably going to be eating a little better than LA Knight fans pretty soon, so we'll see. Thank you everybody for watching. Go on, get out of here. Yeah.